Hi, I'm Aaron Tomlinson. Welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I want to talk about what is mystical union and how can we strive towards attaining it. Now, the word mystic uh, has in its roots the same word that we get mystery from. And if you look up mysticism or mystical or mystic union in a dictionary or encyclopedia, you're likely to get a definition that talks about the process or someone who is seeking union with God, or the process or phenomenon of becoming one with God. But what does that actually mean? That can mean different things to different people depending on their level of spiritual maturity, conscious evolution, or just the information that they've been given. I know when I was practicing mysticism in strictly a Christian paradigm and understanding, it meant to attain union with God. And this union with God was a experience that could be attained by basically trying to get away from the physical realm and the physical dimension. And so for a lot of people who are seeking to, whether they're seeking to clear their karma and get off the wheel of birth, death, and reincarnation, it usually implies some otherworldly, way out there in the sweet by and by type of experience that denies or at least minimizes life on this planet, our material bodies and life in this material plane. And we're seeking something from the higher realms of the spirit. But I would like to suggest a different approach. And this approach would be an approach that would seek to bring union between spirit and soul, or between the highest heights of the spiritual dimension of our being and the material aspects, emotional aspects, mental aspects, basically the social, soulish aspects of our being, and bringing them into a harmony or a union. You can think about this in terms of masculine and feminine energies as well. You can think about the highest realms of spirit and the highest realms of your spirit being as being those which relate to the Father Sky. And you can think about the feminine aspect of Mother Earth representing the material aspects of our lives, and being able to bring those two into a intercourse, into a marriage supper, if you will, that unites them so that there is no division or divide between what we are spiritually and what we are naturally, or between what exists and what we experience in the higher realms of the spirit and what we experience in this physical plane. And so the goal of the mystic approach, the goal of the spiritual life, can be to bring those things together in perfect harmony and in perfect balance. This is one of the real problems, one of the most destructive problems of Christianity and how it's practiced today. Sure, we could talk about the psychological damage that doctrines like hell and eternal conscious torment put us through. We can talk about the moral aspects and the moral judgments that we place in putting our emotional experiences on sort of a spiritual or moral hierarchy, and say these experiences like love and compassion and empathy and joy and peace, these are the high vibrational experiences, and these others over here that are more unpleasant, like jealousy, envy, anger, wrath, grief, these are somehow less than, rather than realizing that they all encompass various different states of being that we experience as we pass through this human life, spiritual or not. And so the practice of Christianity, the way that it's taught today, creates a huge divide inside the person between what they consider to be the higher aspects of their spirit, which produces what Paul calls the fruit of the Spirit in Galatians chapter 5, things like love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, etc. And then what we consider these lower aspects of the body that we have to deal with in life that I was just talking about. It creates this division. In fact, Paul says in that same passage in Galatians chapter 5 that the spirit is at war against the flesh and the flesh is at war against the spirit. And the answer for the Apostle Paul and the Bible and many practicing Christians is to simply mortify or kill the flesh, destroy urges and desires, and destroy the erotic, destroy our sexuality, and destroy any of the pleasures that we experience as being physical incarnations in this material realm and in this material world. And so that divides you, that creates a war within you. If there wasn't one before, there's sure to be one if you try to practice Christianity and its spiritual encouragements and spiritual teachings. Now, Christianity is not the only religion that does this. There are many others that do it, but I don't want to go into all of that right now. But what I want to say is that there are poles that work on our souls. If you think about your soul being in the middle between the higher realms of the spirit and the higher aspects of your spiritual self and the material aspects of yourself, and the soul is to bring these two together in perfect harmony and perfect union and marriage and really sexual union. You can't talk about mysticism without getting into some kind of this erotic imagery and erotic language, so that the two are merged together and you really get to a place where there is no separation, no division, no war, but the two fall in love with each other, not one being seen as better than the other or one having to dominate over the other, but bringing them together in zero-sum equality. That can be the goal of union. So we have forces, there are people, ideologies, philosophies, ideas, and even invisible entities that will pull us one direction or the other. On the one side, we have people and teachings and traditions and even entities that exist in the higher planes of consciousness and the higher spiritual planes, spiritual entities that see no use for this material world at all, no use for this human experience at all. And they will try to pull us into the higher realms at the expense of our bodies, at the expense of our lives being lived out on this material plane. On the other side of the pendulum, you have forces that will try to completely alienate us and divorce us from the spiritual aspects of reality and the spiritual aspects of ourselves, and even tell us that those things don't exist, so that we're pulled into that plane. And so the balance that I'm seeking, the mystical union that I'm seeking, is to bring the higher realms of the spirit, the higher energies and higher vibrations of that highest realm of the spirit into and in perfect harmony with all the vibrations and all the wonderful experiences and even not so wonderful experiences of this material realm. And when we reach that point, then we reach a new height of humanity, a new step in the evolution of humanity. And the more and more of us that pursue that and have moments when we can accomplish that balance and that harmony, then we create a morphic resonance that makes it easier for other people to do that. So I want to thank you. If you've gotten this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching it. I appreciate your support. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, like the video, comment, hit the notification button so you know when I'm putting new stuff out. And if you haven't joined my Facebook group, the New Day Global Facebook group, it's a private group. I'd encourage you to join it. The link is in my bio and you can click on the link, but you do have to answer the questions, all of them, in order to get approved into the group. There's special stuff that we're offering at different times in that group, and that we'll be offering more in the future. Again, thank you for watching this video, and I hope wherever you are that it's wonderful for you.